All right, let's talk about what it really takes to level up as a product designer in the world of fintech. Today, we're going to map out the entire journey, from being a good designer to becoming a truly great one, uncovering the specific skills and, more importantly, the mindset shifts you need to make it to the top.
So what's the secret sauce? What really separates a good designer from a great one? Is it just some kind of raw, innate talent, or is there a hidden playbook they're all following? Well, it turns out it's not a secret at all. It's a roadmap, a clear, actionable path that anyone can follow to accelerate their career.
And get this, we actually got our hands on that exact roadmap. We're looking at an internal document from a major payment company. This is the actual rubric they use to evaluate and grow their designers. So today, we're taking their confidential guide and turning it into a universal blueprint you can use, no matter where you are on your journey.
Okay, so let's dive right in. We're going to walk through this fintech designer's roadmap step by step. Think of it like a growth ladder, with 3 really distinct levels of mastery that we're about to explore.
And here's the whole journey, right here in a nutshell. It all starts at level 2, where the entire focus is on the craft. The theme, executing perfectly. From there, you graduate to level 3, where the focus shifts to the domain, and your theme becomes owning problems. And finally, at the top is level 4, the strategy, where you're not just solving problems, you're defining the future. This is our map.
So let's start at the very beginning, at the foundation, level 2. The whole game here is about executing perfectly. This is where you build that rock-solid, non-negotiable trust with your team by being reliable, consistent, and just a true master of your core design skills. So what does executing perfectly actually look like day to day? Well, it means you can take a set of requirements and repeat them back perfectly, proving you really get it. It means you're creating clean, pixel-perfect screens using the shared design system. You're delivering work that's pretty much ready for engineers to build, maybe with a little guidance. And this one's a biggie in fintech. You sweat the small stuff, like getting financial values right every single time. And this comparison right here, it perfectly illustrates the whole growth path. An L2 designer is a consumer of the design system. You use the parts that are given to you. But an L4 designer, they become a creator. They're the one maintaining and improving that system for everybody else. It's a massive shift from just following the standards to actually setting them. Now, you can't do any of this without understanding the absolute core of fintech, and that's the payment lifecycle. You see, an L2 designer has to know the journey that money takes. Why? So you can design a UI that correctly shows a transaction as pending, for example. It's that foundational knowledge that makes your designs not just look good, but also feel accurate and trustworthy.
Okay, so you've mastered the craft. You're reliable. Now it's time to level up to L3, the growth stage. And this is where a huge shift in mindset happens. You stop just executing assigned tasks, and you start truly owning problems from beginning to end.
The magic word here is proactivity. Just look at the difference in communication style. An L2 designer might sit back and wait for someone to give them input, but an L3 designer, oh no, they don't wait. They go out and they hunt down ambiguity. They proactively fill in the gaps and drive the conversation forward. That's ownership.
And you see this proactive mindset pop up everywhere. An L3 designer can take a big, scary feature and break it down into smaller, manageable chunks all on their own. They're already thinking about what could go wrong, designing for those tricky edge cases. And they're lifting the whole team up by giving great, constructive feedback. You're not just a pair of hands anymore, you're becoming a real strategic partner. You can really see this change in action during a critical process like the developer handoff. An L2's handoff, well, it can be a little messy, right? Lots of back and forth. But an L3 designer has streamlined this. They provide specs that are crystal clear, and they collaborate with engineers from the start, making the whole process way smoother for everyone involved. And now for the final leap. Level 4, the leadership stage. This is where the game totally changes. You go from solving the problems you're given to defining the entire strategy for how problems get solved across the whole organization. I love this quote because it just nails it. At this level, you're not just following the rules of UX anymore. You're the one writing the rules. You are the architect, defining the principles and patterns that everyone else will follow. And just look at the kind of impact you're having. You're leading workshops to shape strategy. You're defining the entire payment experience, even creating a catalog for every single error that could happen. You're setting the quality bar. You're a mentor, designing how new hires get onboarded, and you're a guardian, protecting the business from risky ideas.
Speaking of being a guardian, let's talk about something like PCI compliance, those super strict security rules for credit cards. An L2 designer knows the basic rule: don't show the full card number. Simple. But an L4 designer, they think bigger. They're proactively auditing the entire system, hunting for compliance risks and stamping them out before they ever become a problem.
Okay, but what about the elephant in the room? AI. Where does a game-changing technology like this fit into the roadmap? Well, here's the thing. It's not just one skill you learn. It's a capability that scales right along with you, making you more powerful at every single level.
And this is so cool to see. At L2, you're basically just playing around, trying out the tools. By L3, you're getting really effective, iterating on prompts to get great results. But at L4, you become a force multiplier. You're not just using AI, you're strategically weaving it into the team's DNA and coaching everyone else on how to get the most out of it.
So, there you have it. We've walked the entire path, from that solid foundation of perfect execution all the way up to strategic leadership. This isn't just about climbing some corporate ladder, it's a clear, actionable path to achieving true mastery in fintech design.
So let's recap the 3 big identities you take on. You start as the L2, the reliable executor, where you master your craft. Then you grow into the L3, the proactive owner, where you master the domain. And finally, you can become the L4, the strategic influencer, where you master the business itself and shape what's next.
And that's the whole story, isn't it? The key takeaway is that clear progression. The journey moves from simply executing tasks to owning problems, and ultimately to defining the very future of the product you're working on.
We've just pulled back the curtain on an internal blueprint for what excellence really looks like inside a top-tier company. The framework is clear. The path is right there in front of you. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build with it?